A letter from heaven was written to you 12 years ago. It was delayed, but Archangel Michael says you must open it today. My beloved child, don't skip. Stay right here. Something you've been waiting for, something you didn't even know was meant for you, is about to be revealed. 12 years ago, a message left heaven. A letter carrying your name, sealed in light, and written by the hand of destiny itself. But something happened. It never reached you. Until now. Archangel Michael stood between realms, holding that letter, waiting for the moment your heart was ready. He waited for the hour your spirit would awaken enough to receive. And today, that hour has come. Listen carefully, because this is not a coincidence. The reason you are hearing this right now is because heaven's clock just struck your time. Don't scroll away. Don't look away. Stay till the end, because what's inside this message has the power to change everything about your tomorrow. It began 12 years ago, on a night you might not even remember. Heaven whispered your name. You were meant to receive divine guidance, a word that would protect, elevate, and align you with your true path. But darkness interfered. Delays came. Not denial. Delay. Archangel Michael fought for this message. Yes, fought, because forces didn't want you to hear it. Every heartbreak, every confusion, every sudden silence, they were distractions to make you forget who you are. But heaven doesn't forget. God doesn't forget. The letter has been preserved, sealed in fire and truth, waiting for the exact moment your soul would be strong enough to read it. You feel it, don't you? That strange stirring in your chest right now. That's not coincidence. That's recognition. Your spirit is remembering what it once heard. Don't skip. Because what I'm about to tell you next is the very first line written in that heavenly letter. It reads, "Beloved, I have seen your tears. Not one of them fell unnoticed. What was delayed will be delivered, and what was taken will be restored sevenfold." This is not poetry. This is prophecy. You were chosen to receive this word today. Archangel Michael says, tell them to open their heart before they open their hands. Because what comes next will not be something you hold. It will be something you become. Stay till the end, because in a few moments I will reveal the hidden reason why heaven waited 12 long years, and why your delay was never a denial, but divine design. Heaven's letter is unfolding line by line, and the next line holds the secret to why your destiny paused just for this day. My dearest one, don't move away. Stay right here. Every second you stay is another seal breaking from that letter written with your name on it. You must not miss what comes next, because this next revelation carries the reason your journey has felt both guided and haunted at the same time. 12 years ago, the heavens released a divine decree in your favor. The moment it was spoken, light traveled faster than time to find you. But the letter was intercepted. Not destroyed, only delayed. Archangel Michael stood between realms holding your promise, protecting it from corruption. What was meant to arrive in a season of confusion could not reach you then, because your heart was not yet ready to understand what heaven had prepared. You were not denied, you were being prepared. Don't skip, because if you do, you'll miss the most shocking part. Heaven's delays always come with divine precision. Every tear you cried since then watered the very soil where your miracle was buried. Every night you spent asking why me was actually heaven whispering, wait and see. Nothing you faced was wasted time. It was sacred alignment. The battles you thought were punishments were actually rehearsals for your revelation. 12 years may seem long, but to heaven, it was the length of one divine breath. That's how closely you were being watched. The angels did not abandon you. They were standing guard, waiting for your obedience to mature into readiness. Heaven had to align not only your heart, but also the people and places around you, so that when this letter arrived, it wouldn't just inform you, it would transform you. Right now, as you listen, Archangel Michael is unfolding the second line of your letter. It says, "Do not curse the waiting, for it was your womb of wisdom. You were hidden, not forgotten you." Can you feel that truth settling inside your chest? That's your spirit recognizing its own language. For years, you thought silence was punishment, but heaven was teaching you to hear in stillness. Don't let your mind wander. Don't skip this moment. The divine letter you are opening is more than words. It is a memory of who you were before the world broke you. The message continues. The fire you walked through was never meant to burn you. It was meant to reveal that you were made of light. You see, everything that was stripped away from you was never meant to stay. Heaven had to empty your hands before it could fill them again. You asked for restoration, but God planned resurrection. What was delayed was not taken away. It was waiting to return multiplied. Archangel Michael whispers now, "Tell them the time of divine reversal has begun." 12 years of delay are collapsing into this single moment of awakening. Don't scroll away. Your spirit has been summoned for this. The universe is rearranging itself in your favor even as you listen. And yet, the letter has one more truth waiting in its next line. One that reveals why heaven chose today for you to finally open it. Stay close, because the next revelation carries the divine signature that connects your past pain to your coming promise. My precious soul, stay right here. Don't skip, because this is where heaven begins to open the sealed pages of your letter. Every heartbeat you feel right now is a divine echo from that moment, 12 years ago when God first wrote your name into His plan. You are not listening by accident. You are standing on the threshold of fulfillment. The third line of your letter begins to unfold, and it reads, "The day you thought was your ending was actually your appointment." Let those words sink in. Every disappointment that once made you question your worth was secretly rearranging your destiny. When you cried that no one was listening, heaven was recording every word. The silence you experienced wasn't empty. It was holy ground where your promise was being built. Archangel Michael stood watch over your story. He saw the attacks, the betrayals, the people who walked away. But what they never saw was that their leaving was part of your lifting. You were meant to lose certain things, so you could gain what can never be taken away again. You see, heaven never subtracts without multiplying later. Don't scroll away. Something huge is about to be revealed. Heaven wants you to understand why today carries such weight. The number 12 represents divine order, divine government, divine completion. That means the 12 years you waited were not random. They were prophetic. Each year was a gate, and each gate held a lesson. You walked through loss, loneliness, confusion, and rebuilding. You didn't know it, but each step unlocked the authority to receive what this letter carries now. And here it comes, the next revelation. Heaven's timing never fails. Your letter says, when the appointed time comes, doors that were rusted shut will open without effort. The reason you struggled before was because you were pushing on the wrong season. But now, the locks are melting. The barriers are breaking. Archangel Michael has released your long-awaited season of release. Stay till the end, because this message is about to turn from revelation into instruction. Heaven is not only telling you what was delayed, it is preparing you for what's next. You're being invited to walk into alignment, to see how heaven's hand has been guiding you behind every closed door. And if you felt this truth stir in your heart, pause right now and breathe it in. You were never behind. You were right on time. The letter was delayed, but your spirit was waiting for this precise moment. God's word for you is being fulfilled in the exact second you're hearing it. Before I reveal what Archangel Michael says will happen next, I want you to help spread this message of light and awakening. Like this video, share it, and comment below the words "I receive my letter from heaven." Your words become a declaration, your comment a signature of faith. Subscribe if you haven't, because more heavenly revelations are being released here, and I want you to be part of this movement of divine awakening. Don't let this message stop with you. Let it travel to someone who needs their faith restored. Now, before we move deeper, hear this special message that flows straight from the same divine current that sent your letter. My beloved listener, this is your moment to not only receive from heaven, but to partner with heaven. When you give, you are sowing into the soil of souls. Every act of support helps the Word of God reach someone waiting in darkness for their own divine letter. Remember what Scripture says, "He who waters others will himself be watered." This is not about helping us. It's about joining the mission to ignite light in hearts across the earth. I invite you, personally, to stand with this calling. When you click Super Thanks, become a channel member, or give through the PayPal link in the description, you are placing your seed into a divine river of salvation and awakening. I declare as you give, heaven will release fresh oil and open doors in your own life. Do not wait. Move as God moves. Let your giving be your prophecy. My chosen one, stay close. Don't skip a single word. Each sentence now is a key unlocking the truth that has waited 12 years to meet you. This part of the letter is where heaven begins to unveil why the message was delayed and why you had to endure the exact path you walked. There are no coincidences here, only divine timing aligning itself with your heartbeat. When Archangel Michael spoke about your letter being preserved, he also revealed something deeper. The delay was not only about timing, it was about protection. There were moments when forces unseen tried to alter your destiny, when discouragement and fear tried to rewrite your story. But every attempt failed because your name was written in light, and light cannot be erased by darkness. You thought heaven was silent, but heaven was shielding you. Every delay was a detour around disaster. Don't scroll. Don't let your attention drift. The letter says, had you received the promise before its appointed hour, the weight of blessing would have crushed you. This is why you had to grow in strength, in patience, in faith. What you endured wasn't punishment, it was preparation. The version of you standing here today is strong enough to hold what your younger self prayed for. Heaven had to let you break, only so you would rebuild on a stronger foundation. Archangel Michael watched as you faced betrayal, heartbreak, and loneliness. Every time you thought you were abandoned, an angel was actually standing beside you, keeping record of your endurance. And heaven has now declared, the waiting season has ended. The delivery is complete. Listen to that again. The delay is over. What was withheld from you has been released, but you must be awake enough to see it. Not every blessing comes wrapped in light. Sometimes it hides inside opportunities, unexpected people, or sudden changes that look like endings, but are actually beginnings. The next few days are sacred. Signs will appear in small ways, a message, a chance encounter, an inner knowing that feels stronger than logic. When that moment happens, you will know the letter has fully opened. Stay till the end, because this story is about to take a divine turn. The next part reveals the hidden symbol written in gold across the last page of your heavenly letter, a symbol that carries the message meant only for you. Archangel Michael said, when they see the sign, they will know heaven has remembered their name. So hold your heart still. Do not rush. Do not doubt. Every second you stay connected, your spirit aligns more deeply with the timing of heaven. The same hand that delayed your letter is now guiding it to your doorstep. The same angel who held it for 12 years is now standing over your life, declaring, the season of silence is over. Don't move away now. The next part of this revelation contains the golden line that reveals why you were chosen to receive this message first, and how the truth will ripple through your future like a divine awakening. My beloved heart, listen carefully. Don't skip this moment, because the line you are about to hear is the one Archangel Michael said would awaken something ancient inside you. The letter from heaven has reached the section that reveals your divine identity, the part that tells you not who the world said you are, but who heaven always knew you to be. This is where truth meets memory. 12 years ago, before the letter was delayed, your name was spoken in a council of light. Heaven discussed your purpose, your trials, and your mission. The moment your name was uttered, a sound went out, a sound that has followed you ever since. That's why certain songs, words, and places have always stirred something indescribable in you. You were hearing echoes of your own calling. Archangel Michael preserved those echoes inside this message so that when the time came, you would recognize yourself again. Don't scroll. Stay. Heaven is still speaking. The letter says, you were not born by accident. You were a sign. That means your presence on this earth is not random. Every challenge you faced was a test of endurance, but also an introduction to your authority. The rejection you felt from people was heaven's redirection to your higher identity. You weren't meant to fit in. You were meant to stand apart as a light in the waiting darkness. Archangel Michael whispers again, tell them their purpose is older than their pain. Think about that. Your purpose existed before your heartbreak, before the losses, before the long nights of confusion. Every painful chapter was written into your story not to break you, but to build the strength required to fulfill that purpose. If you could see the threads heaven wove through your years, you'd understand how none of it was wasted. Don't skip. You've come too far. The letter continues. Your waiting has become your wisdom. Your pain has become your proof. What you endured has positioned you to help others who are walking through the same shadows. You are no longer the one who needs saving. You are becoming the one heaven will use to save. Every tear you shed watered the garden of someone else's hope. And soon, those who doubted you will witness what divine timing looks like when it finally unfolds. Stay till the end, because heaven isn't done. Archangel Michael says the next revelation will explain the golden mark sealed at the bottom of your letter, the mark that proves this message was always meant for you. It carries a sound, a word, a divine code that will unlock clarity about your destiny and reveal the purpose of your waiting. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. The letter has waited 12 years for your spirit to be still enough to read these words. Right now, as you listen, angels are moving around you, preparing the space for what comes next. Every vibration in your soul, every chill in your spirit, is the signature of divine presence. The next part will unveil the golden symbol and the mystery hidden behind it. It will explain how your name was written into heaven's story and why this very day was chosen for its unveiling. Don't miss it. Stay until the end. My beloved child, keep your focus right here. Don't skip, don't look away, because what unfolds now is the heart of the letter, the part that carries the golden mark from heaven itself. This is the portion that Archangel Michael said would release clarity, confirmation, and peace. What has been confusing for years is about to make sense. The delay, the detours, the silence, they all lead to this sacred unveiling. 12 years ago, when the letter was written, the seal was pressed in golden light. That seal was not a decoration, it was a code. Heaven's messages are not written only in words, but in symbols, each carrying energy that communicates beyond language. The one on your letter is shaped like a circle intersected by a flame. The circle represents completion, the 12-year cycle that just ended. The flame represents awakening, the moment your spirit remembers why it came to earth. When the circle and flame unite, it means heaven and earth have agreed that your appointed time has arrived. Don't scroll, because you need to hear this with the same attention heaven gave when it was written. The letter says, the golden seal is not just a mark of approval, it is a sign of inheritance. You have reached the moment where the promise stored up for years begins to manifest. What once felt like loss will now transform into restoration. What was broken will rebuild stronger. The flame inside the circle marks a divine exchange. What was delayed in time will now return multiplied. Archangel Michael explains that this symbol began to glow the moment you started listening to this message. That's not imagination. It's recognition. Heaven's energy responds to awareness. Every time your heart says yes to this truth, that golden seal shines brighter, sending signals through unseen realms to unlock what has been waiting. The moment your faith aligns with heaven's word, the letter releases its full power. Stay with me, because the next part of the letter is the revelation of transfer. The message says, everything you lost through delay will be restored by acceleration. Think about that. The years that seemed stunned will now return in a flood of progress. Relationships, opportunities, and inner peace that once felt out of reach will begin to find you effortlessly. The waiting season built the roots, and now the harvest season begins. Archangel Michael's voice grows stronger here. He says, tell them their name has been spoken again before heaven's throne. That means your moment has been announced. The spiritual realm has acknowledged that your season of testing has fulfilled its purpose. The angels are not watching anymore. They are moving. The divine letter has shifted from waiting mode to delivery mode. Every delay is turning into divine acceleration. Don't skip. Don't let this just be words. Let it become truth. The reason you are hearing this message at this very hour is because heaven arranged it. Every distraction that could have stopped you from hearing this was pushed away. You are meant to be here, meant to know this, meant to awaken. The letter now closes this section with one final golden line. When they understand the seal, they will understand their strength. That means the seal isn't only a mark, it's a mirror. It shows you that the same light that wrote the letter lives inside you. The flame and the circle are also your soul and your spirit, agreeing at last to walk in unity with heaven's design. But stay till the end. The next revelation Archangel Michael shares explains the purpose of your divine assignment, why you were chosen to carry this message to others, and how your obedience will unlock blessings not only for you, but for many around you. My beloved, stay right here and breathe. You are entering the section of the heavenly letter where revelation turns into assignment. Do not skip, because this is where you begin to understand why God chose you to receive this message after 12 long years of silence. Every moment you've lived until now has been preparation for this very instruction. Archangel Michael said, the letter they open will not only bless them, it will commission them. And now that commission is being released. The letter continues with words that tremble with divine purpose. You were not preserved only to survive. You were preserved to serve. Let that settle in your heart. You made it through storms that destroyed others not because you were luckier, but because you were marked for impact. Every closed door taught you compassion, every heartbreak gave you understanding, and every loss sharpened your vision. Heaven was shaping a messenger through pain, molding strength through waiting. You are not the victim of your story. You are the vessel chosen to carry light into the stories of others. Don't look away. Stay until the end, because this part of the letter carries a charge that will set your spirit on fire. The message says, "Go and remind the broken that heaven still remembers names." This is your calling. You are being invited into divine partnership, to speak light where darkness has settled, to be the reminder that God still speaks, still restores, still loves. Your voice, your story, your resilience, they are not ordinary. They are instruments in heaven's hands. Archangel Michael says that when you embrace this assignment, something supernatural begins to unfold. The pain of your past transforms into a map for others' healing. You become the bridge between despair and faith, between silence and revelation. You no longer ask, "Why me?" Because now you understand it was always for you, so that you could guide others who are still searching for their own letter from heaven. Stay close. Don't scroll away. The letter continues. When you carry the message, heaven carries you. That means divine protection surrounds those who accept their heavenly purpose. You don't have to know every detail of how it will happen. You just have to say yes. The rest will unfold naturally, one divine step at a time. Right now, the realm of heaven is aware of you. Angels are marking this moment as your acceptance into a greater flow of purpose. The letter says, the message once delayed will now move through the messenger. In other words, your obedience becomes the completion of the 12-year circle. The story isn't finished until the message is spoken through your life. Archangel Michael's words grow radiant here. Tell them that light travels faster when shared. That is the mystery of divine fulfillment. The more you give the message away, the more heaven multiplies its effect through you. The flame inside the golden seal you just learned about in the previous part begins to grow brighter when you share it. That brightness will start to reflect in your circumstances, in your health, in your peace, in your relationships. Heaven's word never returns void. It multiplies. Stay with me till the end, because the next part will reveal the most powerful truth yet, the moment heaven's ladder shifts from revelation into manifestation. What happens next is not just spiritual, it's physical. You will begin to see changes, signs, alignments, and blessings appearing in your path. The 12th year is ending, and your new chapter is already unfolding. My beloved listener, don't move an inch. What unfolds now is not just the continuation of a letter. It is the manifestation of everything heaven promised you. This is the point where revelation begins to walk into reality. Archangel Michael said this is the section where the unseen becomes visible, where what you believed by faith begins to take form before your eyes. Every delay has led to this moment of divine activation. You are not here by coincidence. You are standing inside fulfillment. The letter opens this part with a trembling light and reads, "The time of watching is over. The time of walking has begun." That means heaven is calling you to step out of waiting and into action. For years, you prayed for movement, but now heaven says, move. The signs you've asked for will not appear while you stand still. They will appear as you step forward. The gate that once seemed locked will only open when you walk toward it. This is not symbolic. This is prophetic. The season of divine delay has collapsed, and acceleration is replacing it. Don't skip. Don't scroll. Every sentence now carries instruction. Archangel Michael says, tell them their obedience will release miracles. You've waited for confirmation, but this is your confirmation. The letter continues. What you feared to touch will turn to gold when you touch it in faith. That means everything that once intimidated you will now respond to the authority heaven placed in your spirit. The words you speak, the prayers you whisper, the choices you make, they will begin to carry divine weight. Listen closely, because this next part is to your heart. Heaven knows how long you've waited. Every disappointment, every false start, every door that closed right when you thought it would open, all of it was recorded. But the letter says, I was preparing the field for your harvest. That means the delay was the tilling of the soil. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now, the harvest is ready. The letter declares that the next 30 days will reveal signs of divine acceleration. Things that once took years will happen in days. Align your heart with that expectation. Heaven moves at the speed of faith. Stay till the end, because this message is not just for you. It's also meant to pass through you. Archangel Michael reveals that you are now becoming a carrier of divine fulfillment. The energy of answered prayers will radiate from your life. Those around you will sense something shifting in your atmosphere. You will no longer speak from hope alone. You will speak from experience. The light that has been waiting 12 years to break through your story will finally begin to shine through you. If this message is stirring something deep inside, if it feels like it's speaking directly to your soul, then that's heaven's confirmation that you are in alignment with divine timing. Take a moment to like this video, share it, and comment the words my letter is manifesting now. Let heaven see your agreement. Let the world see your faith. Subscribe if you haven't, because there are more messages being released. Divine letters unfolding one after another, bringing light where there has been darkness. Let's fill the earth with revelation together. Now, before we continue to the next unfolding of this heavenly letter, listen to this sacred invitation that flows directly from the heart of this revelation. Beloved soul, this moment is not only about receiving, it is about releasing. When you give toward this message, you become part of heaven's mission to awaken hearts that have forgotten their divine identity. Every seed you sow through Super Thanks, channel membership, or the PayPal link in the description becomes a spark of light that reaches someone's darkness. God said, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." And in this moment, that promise is alive. I invite you, personally, to move in faith. As you give, may rivers of divine favor and provision flow back into your life. This is more than support. It is a prophetic act of partnership with heaven's vision. Move now. Release your light. Let your giving echo as worship before the throne of God. My beloved child, don't look away. This is the part of the letter where heaven begins to reveal the outcome of your obedience. What was once written in spirit is now being written into reality. The words of this section are living. They move when you move. They breathe when you believe. Archangel Michael said that this part of your message carries the wind of fulfillment, meaning that every time you listen with an open heart, something in your atmosphere shifts. This is not theory. This is activation. The letter begins this chapter with the line, "You have stepped out of the waiting and into the unfolding." That means the waiting season has officially expired. What was held up by unseen barriers has now been released by divine authority. Heaven is not asking you to prepare for a blessing. It is declaring that the blessing is already in motion. You might not see it yet, but you are walking through the early moments of manifestation. The evidence of divine movement is subtle at first. Unexpected peace, unusual favor, sudden reminders of hope. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Stay here. Don't scroll. What heaven is saying right now is sacred. The letter continues. You will recognize fulfillment not by its size, but by its spirit. That means you may see small signs that carry immense meaning. A conversation that stirs purpose again. A door that opens quietly, but leads to something extraordinary. The person who appears at just the right time. These are the threads of divine weaving, pulling your story into completion. Archangel Michael explains that when heaven restores, it does not return things to how they were. It transforms them into something greater. The letter reads, "What was broken will not be repaired. It will be reborn." This is heaven's promise. You are not returning to your old self. You are becoming the version heaven always envisioned. The last 12 years were the refining fire. What emerges now is gold. Don't skip this next line. It carries deep revelation. The letter says, "Your new season begins with the courage to believe that you are worthy of it." That's the key. Heaven can send the blessing, but your heart must open wide enough to receive it. Worthiness is not earned by perfection. It is granted by purpose. You have always been chosen. Every tear, every delay, every night of doubt was evidence that your story mattered enough to be fought for. The angelic message continues. Now rise, for the wind of heaven is behind you. That means divine assistance is moving with you. You won't have to force what's next. It will flow. Relationships, opportunities, and resources will align naturally. The things that felt impossible before will begin to fall into place without struggle. This is what it means to walk in divine ease. My dear one, stay till the end. The next part of this revelation will reveal how to sustain what heaven is sending. Archangel Michael says, it's not enough to receive. You must learn how to carry. The coming instructions will show you how to protect your peace, guard your purpose, and remain aligned with heaven even as the blessings begin to multiply. Something sacred is unfolding. The delay is over. The letter is alive. The next words will prepare you for the years ahead, the years of restoration, harvest, and divine completion that were written for you before time began. My beloved one, stay very still. Don't rush, don't skip, because this section of your heavenly letter carries instruction, the wisdom that ensures you not only receive what heaven is sending, but also keep it. Archangel Michael said this part is the Keeper's chapter, the portion that teaches you how to hold divine blessings without letting the noise of the world steal them. This is where the letter shifts from revelation to stewardship. The delay prepared you to receive. Now the message will prepare you to sustain. The letter opens with a radiant truth. Guard what grows. That means the blessings arriving now are tender shoots. They must be nurtured, not flaunted. Heaven warns that some people in your life may not understand this new light around you. The confusion may come as criticism, but do not let that dim you. The letter says, do not explain what was divinely revealed. That means not every miracle is meant to be announced. Some are meant to mature in silence until they bear fruit. Protect the peace that is blooming inside you. It is sacred soil. Stay with me. Don't scroll, because heaven is revealing how to keep what has finally been delivered. The letter continues. Speak less, pray more. Words have power, but silence carries presence. When you stay quiet before God, you strengthen the channel between heaven and your heart. Archangel Michael says, the ones who listen deeply hear instructions that others miss. The miracles coming your way will require not reaction, but reflection. The more you align with divine timing, the clearer your path will become. Heaven then writes, do not rush into new doors. Wait for the wind to guide you. Bliss is critical. Just because the waiting season has ended does not mean discernment has ended. Every opportunity is not a divine one. You will know what is right because peace will accompany it. Confusion is the signal that it's not from heaven. The letter promises, where your spirit feels still, that is where I will build. Archangel Michael adds that the next stage of your journey requires faith and motion, but patience and direction. You will see signs appear quickly, but you must not grab at everything that shines. Some things will appear to test your focus, not to bless your path. The angelic message warns, the enemy of promise is distraction dressed as opportunity. So guard your vision. Let your discernment, not your excitement, guide you. The letter shifts again, plowing faintly as it releases one final piece of this instruction. You will know you are walking in alignment when grace feels like gravity. That means what's meant for you won't feel forced. It will feel natural, effortless, divinely supported. You will not have to chase it. It will recognize you because heaven already introduced your name to it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. You are now entering the portion where heaven reveals the reward of endurance, the overflow that follows obedience. The years that felt empty are about to pour back in fullness. But there is still one more secret hidden in the final pages of this letter, one that connects your destiny with those who are watching you rise. Archangel Michael says, they will not just see your blessing, they will feel heaven through you. Hold these instructions in your heart. The delay refined you, the fulfillment revealed you, and the wisdom will sustain you. The next part will show how your personal awakening becomes a light for others, a ripple effect of restoration that spreads beyond your own story. Heaven's plan is never small, and your letter is not ending, it's expanding. My precious listener, stay right here and do not move. You've walked through revelation, understanding, and divine instruction, and now the letter begins to reveal something even greater, your impact. This section is the unveiling of heaven's strategy through you. It's where your personal transformation becomes a wave that touches others, even those you may never meet. Archangel Michael said this is the ripple section, the part that explains how light multiplies through a single awakened soul. Do not skip this. Every word here is a seed that could change the future of someone you love. The letter begins with this line, when you rise, others will remember they can, too. This is heaven's design. Your story was never meant to end with your healing. It was meant to begin there. Every wound you carried is now becoming a doorway through which grace can flow to others. The rejection, the isolation, the delay, all of it created empathy inside you. You can see pain in others not as weakness, but as potential. You will know how to speak into it because you've lived through it. Stay with me. Don't look away. The letter continues. Your restoration is not a reward. It is a responsibility. Heaven is entrusting you with influence. It might not look like fame or a spotlight. It might be a quiet conversation, a word that strengthens someone who's ready to give up. Every time you share hope, every time you choose compassion instead of bitterness, heaven moves through you. You are no longer just a receiver of divine revelation. You are now a carrier of it. Archangel Michael adds, that light will become language. That means your life itself will start to speak. You won't need to convince people of your faith. They'll feel it. Peace will follow you like fragrance. People will begin to ask what changed, and when they do, that's your moment to share. Tell them heaven remembers names. Tell them that delay is not denial. Tell them there is a letter written for them, too. The letter glows brighter here, almost alive, as if the words themselves are rejoicing. The one who shares the message multiplies its miracle. This line is the heartbeat of your calling. It means that when you share what heaven has done in your life, it creates space for heaven to move again in someone else's. The same presence that once comforted you will comfort through you. And every soul that receives light because of your obedience becomes part of your eternal harvest. Don't skip. This moment is sacred. The letter reveals another mystery. There is no greater proof of faith than the one who gives light away. Heaven is calling you to be that proof, to live boldly, to love fully, to forgive quickly, and to speak truth without fear. Every time you do, you affirm that the delay was not wasted. It was invested. The 12-year journey was never about loss. It was always about transformation. Archangel Michael whispers once more, his voice filled with fire and gentleness at the same time. Tell them they are no longer waiting for signs. They are the sign. You are the living evidence of answered prayer, the walking message of divine timing, the proof that heaven never forgets what it writes. Stay till the end. The next part will close the letter, revealing heaven's final words to you, the benediction of this 12-year journey. It will speak of blessings, release, and a divine command that will seal this entire experience in grace. It will also carry the voice of gratitude from heaven to you for choosing to listen, believe, and stay till the end. This final chapter is not an ending. It is the beginning of your new life in divine rhythm. My beloved child, take a deep breath and stay here until the very last word. This is the final unveiling, the closing of your letter from heaven. You have walked through remembrance, revelation, instruction, and transformation. Now you arrive at the benediction, the seal, the moment heaven's message becomes your own heartbeat. Archangel Michael said that this last portion carries the divine command that will complete the 12-year circle and open the next chapter of your journey. The letter begins softly, glowing as if light itself were speaking. My beloved, you have waited long enough. The gates that once resisted you now recognize you. These words are not simply encouragement, they are authority. Every locked season, every missed opportunity, every silent prayer has now come into alignment. The divine order that governed your waiting has shifted into release. You have entered what heaven calls the season of return. Everything that once drifted away from you is finding its way back, but purified, refined, and multiplied. Stay till the end. The letter continues. Go forward without fear, for the delay was only to strengthen your wings. That means what once felt like restriction was actually training. The struggle built stamina. The waiting built wisdom. You now move not as one who pleads, but as one who carries permission. Heaven says you may now rise, speak, and move freely in the authority written over your life. What once seemed unreachable will now open before you as naturally as sunrise. Archangel Michael's presence grows stronger in this final section. He declares, tell them the letter is not ending, it is unfolding through them. This is the mystery. The moment you live out this message, the story continues. Every choice you make from here becomes a new paragraph in heaven's ongoing book of light. You are not finishing a revelation. You are becoming one. Don't scroll away. Not yet. The letter closes with one last golden line. You are loved beyond measure. You are remembered beyond time. You are chosen beyond question. These words are heaven's eternal seal over you. They cannot be erased by failure or undone by fear. They are final and forever. You are now walking proof that divine promises do not expire. They simply wait for appointed time. Now that you've received this letter, share it. Let the message of divine remembrance reach others who have lost hope. Like this video, comment the words I receive heaven's letter, and let it be your declaration of alignment. Share it with someone who needs to be reminded that delay does not mean denial. Subscribe if you haven't, because heaven's messages are still unfolding here. More words of light, restoration, and faith that can reach others through you. The more you share, the more heaven multiplies the light. This is your moment to stand, to walk, to live as one awakened. The letter has been delivered. The delay has ended. The destiny has begun. Archangel Michael stands beside you even now, watching as the words take form in your life. Heaven rejoices because the message has reached its home, you. Now, before we close, hear this final sacred invitation that flows from the same divine current that has carried this message across time and eternity to reach you today. My beloved listener, this is the hour when heaven calls you not only to receive the word, but to carry it further. Every time you support this mission, through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into the field of souls. You are planting light where darkness has claimed hearts for too long. The Lord says, "Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed," and that promise is alive for you right now. I invite you to step into prophetic partnership with this divine movement. As you give, may your offering rise like incense before God, unlocking favor, restoration, and open heavens over your life. This is not just generosity, it is obedience to divine purpose. Move now in faith. Let your gift speak as your gratitude. The heavens see your yes. The letter has been read. The promise has been released. The rest is between you and heaven. My beloved one, you have opened the letter, and heaven has spoken. But what happens after the words fade into silence? What follows when revelation meets reality? Don't skip this part, because this is where the promise you receive begins to take shape. The letter was never meant to be just read, it was meant to be lived. And right now, you are stepping into the first dawn of your new season. The air feels different, doesn't it? You may not see it yet, but heaven has already shifted the atmosphere around you. Archangel Michael stands not as a messenger now, but as a guardian. His sword is no longer drawn for battle. It's raised in blessing. The energy around your life has begun to reorganize, removing what no longer belongs and drawing in what was always meant for you. The same divine frequency that wrote your letter is now rewriting your future. The voice of heaven speaks again, softer this time, but unmistakably alive. Walk with awareness. The letter has entered your steps. That means every action you take, every decision you make, now carries a residue of divine purpose. You are not walking through ordinary days anymore. You are walking through fulfilled prophecy. The space around you has become sacred ground. Don't scroll. Stay right here. The revelation continues. Creation recognizes the one who remembers. That means even the world around you, the people, the opportunities, the elements, can feel the change within you. They sense the awakening. They respond to the light. This is why things may suddenly begin to align in ways that seem too precise to be coincidence. It's heaven's ecosystem responding to your obedience. Archangel Michael reveals a hidden truth now. The letter was not a destination, it was ignition. What began as words written 12 years ago has become a fire inside you. That fire will not fade. It will fuel your purpose. Every day, it will remind you who you are and why you were chosen. And when doubts return, as they sometimes will, remember this. The same God who delayed your letter for divine timing will also sustain your promise through divine power. The letter continues. Do not look back to measure what you've lost. Look forward to discover what is coming. That is your new posture. Eyes lifted, heart steady. The years behind you are the soil. The years ahead will be the harvest. Every seed sown in tears will now sprout in joy. What was once bitter will turn to sweetness. What was hidden will come into light. And what was delayed will now run to meet you. Heaven's voice grows stronger again. Tell them their story has become a prophecy to others. And that is exactly what you are now, a living prophecy. Your journey will awaken others who are still trapped in waiting. Your resilience will become their reminder that heaven does not forget. Every conversation you have, every act of kindness you offer, every time you choose faith instead of fear, you're extending the letter's message into the world. Don't skip. Stay till the end. There's still more unfolding. The letter closes this continuation with a radiant truth. The one who opens the letter becomes the letter. You are now heaven's message walking among men, a reminder that divine timing is never late and divine love never fails. The story that began 12 years ago is still being written every time you breathe, believe, and bless someone else. And as Archangel Michael watches you take your first steps into this new chapter, his words echo softly in the unseen. The promise has found its home. My beloved child, this is the final breath of the message, the moment where heaven closes the circle that began 12 years ago. Do not scroll. Not now. You've come too far to miss the closing words written for your spirit. What happens next is not the end of the story, but the continuation of your destiny. The layer has been opened, the seal has been broken, and the power within it is now alive in you. Heaven speaks softly yet with unmatched authority. What was promised has been delivered. Now let it multiply. That means this revelation was never meant to stop with you. Every word you have heard is a seed. Every tear you shed while listening was water. Now, the field of your life is ready to bear fruit. Archangel Michael stands beside you even now, watching as you begin to walk as the fulfillment of what was once only prophecy. You are no longer the one waiting, you are the one carrying. Don't skip this part. The letter continues. Every day that follows will be marked with divine echoes. That means you will begin to notice alignment everywhere, in timing, in words, in people, in opportunities. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are heaven's way of whispering, you heard correctly. You may find yourself in conversations where your words bring healing. You may walk into moments that feel strangely familiar. That is heaven reminding you, you are walking in the letter. The next line shimmers with light. To whom much is revealed, much is entrusted. This is heaven's reminder that revelation carries responsibility. Guard this truth in your heart. Let humility guide you, not pride. What you've received is not for display, it's for transformation. Heaven does not choose the perfect, it chooses the willing. And you were willing. You stayed. You believed. You listened until the very last word. Archangel Michael speaks once more. The greatest proof of faith is not in what you receive, but in what you release. That is your next calling, to be a vessel of release. When you share hope, when you speak light, when you forgive, when you give, the same energy that wrote your heavenly letter flows through you again. You become the continuation of the divine message. You become a living letter from heaven to the world. Now breathe, my beloved. Heaven smiles over you. The 12 years of silence have turned into a lifetime of sound. The letter has completed its journey, not to end your story, but to awaken it. Walk now in peace. Speak with authority. Live with purpose. And remember, every step you take is another line heaven writes through you. Before you go, take a moment to like, share, and comment I carry heaven's message. Subscribe if you haven't, because more divine revelations are unfolding, and I want you to walk this journey with us. Let this light travel further. Let others hear what heaven is still speaking. Now listen carefully, because this is heaven's final call. an invitation for you to partner with the message and keep the fire of God's Word burning across the earth. Beloved listener, heaven moves when hearts unite with purpose. This mission, this voice of light, exists to carry God's Word into the hearts of millions waiting for their own letter from heaven. When you give, you are not supporting a channel. You are sowing into eternity. The Lord says, "He who scatters light will shine ever brighter," and your offering today becomes that very light. I invite you now to move prophetically, to give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. As you do, you are helping heaven reach one more soul who thought they were forgotten. See you. I bless every giver in Jesus' name. May rivers of divine favor pour into your home, your health, and your hands. Let your gift become your declaration. I am a messenger of light. Do not delay. Act now. Heaven is watching, and heaven will multiply what you release.